We're going to talk about stimulus, what it means for Bitcoin, the dollar index, obviously the likes of Ethereum and all the other good bits and bobs. So hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new, make sure you've subscribed and tap that bell button. It makes a big difference if you see my stuff. Now, obviously, stimulus has landed. What does this mean though? Bitcoin's probably going to moon. The dollar's probably going to die. A lot of people are going to get caught out in this market, and I think millennials will probably advantage the most. But hey ho, let's see. So let's talk about this. The stimulus has landed. The US retail traders are set to hit the stock market now. Not just stocks, okay? We are understanding here that, how do I put this right? There's a number of companies out there in the stock market that are currently propped up by money that is not essentially theirs. It's bonds, it's all kinds of weird and wonderfully packaged equities and all kinds of crap basically that is given to us as helicopter money, free money, and it is used to bail out certain companies. Now I'm not going to mention certain companies because I cannot be bothered, but this is obviously going to be an interesting case for where people put cash reserves of legitimate companies to essentially offset the loss of cash appreciation, essentially, let's be honest, and into other solid assets such as gold, silver, the likes of Bitcoin, and other commodities, okay? It's very, very interesting to talk about this because it's a huge amount of money. 1.9 trillion spending package is landing right now in certain people's wallets and all kinds of stuff, right? It's huge, and this is going to increase the speed of inflation. We've already talked about this and how the results of this have already taken place, and they have been for centuries, essentially. Like, when you dilute a currency, it's going to increase other things, and that's why everything's more expensive. Travel, education, your house, all kinds of stuff like that. So, what does it mean for us? Well, this. Will stimulus checks take Bitcoin even higher? Well, I think so too. We've already got the history. The history is there. It's all black and white. It tells us, right? That bill, a percentage of that money is going to go straight into cryptocurrency, whether it's going to go into Bitcoin. But remember the ecosystem. Most things are done through Bitcoin, essentially still. Even today, Cash App have been gifting people a load of Bitcoin, which is pretty cool. But at the end of the day, people are looking for a place to put their money. We've got big companies right now going, I've got money. It's like holding a massive ice cube, essentially, to them. They need to put it somewhere. Well, the best performing asset of all time, Bitcoin, is a great place to put their money. That's what they are saying. And that's also what they're doing, which is kind of important too. So that's a big thing. So we're talking about it, we're thinking about it, and we're thinking, well, where can Bitcoin go? Well, I think we're going to go higher. I mentioned it in last week's video, 68,000, potentially still going on the cards, essentially had a nice little retracement. This weekend might be the interesting one. I think this weekend might be very, very interesting. But for me, we're talking businesses, companies worried about what is going to happen in the next few months and into the next few years. Holding assets, the reserve assets, their emergency funds in case anything goes wrong. Well, they're going to put it somewhere, and a percentage of that balance sheet into crypto is happening. You've also got this as well. Millions tempted, the retail investor I'm talking about here, not big money. We're talking about normal people, right? Normies, right? Oh, free money. Don't need that. Let's go to this website. Let's go to Coinbase and go, whoop, I'll put $1,000 in. That's going to happen massively. Why? Interest. People only want to, remember, psychological, they only want to invest in something that's good, right? We know it. It's a bull run. Hi. You know, if you've been watching my content for the last 2 years, you would know, be positioned in the market. Time in the market is everything. People who get free money don't care about that. They don't want to learn. They don't want to take an interest. They just want to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, whatever, right? Whatever's on the top list of Coinbase or whatever, like obviously XRP isn't on Coinbase, but you know the point. Whatever's looking quite good, the most viable assets, right? And when we talk about fundamentals, about 60-70% of those people probably won't have a clue what they're doing. They just do it anyways because their friends have told them to. That's an important factor in understanding how market demand will wash up and kill other people in the market. That's how it works. So it's important to know. But for me, there's all kinds of figures here in terms of how things will happen. In my opinion, there will be a chunk of money going into Bitcoin, into other assets, crypto assets essentially, because of what's happening. The market is nice and green. It's rosy. It's the best performing asset currently. Free money. I can make money. Okay, I'll do this. That's what will happen. So let's talk about what has happened recently. So in my humble opinion, I think, and I've been saying this for a while now, if you've been watching my analysis over the last week, this was the low, this was obviously the high. We've pulled back into a nice little zone, and I feel 67,000 essentially is on the offing, right? I also think 73,000 is also possible too on this extension. This is the next swing high essentially, potentially. Breakout of 61,860 levels equals new all-time high, equals price discovery mode, equals FOMO on a weekend. Okay, so that's what my point is with this. I think that is the next move. Do I want it to happen? No, I don't. I'll be honest with you, I don't want it to happen. I want it to chill the fuck out. I'll be honest. Sorry about the language, but I want Bitcoin to go sideways now. I'm getting bored of it. Why am I getting bored of it? Well, altcoins need time to breathe too. The altcoin market, and I'm going to talk about this now, the total too of the altcoin industry overall is still okay. It's still at a nice high level. Currently in and around the highs, right? It has been here for a while, but every time Bitcoin does something volatile or crazy or disgustingly or horrible, i.e. an upwards or a downwards move with pretty high volatility, this tends to wobble a bit. Altcoins will always be governed by the USD prices of anything, right? BTC valuation into the altcoin valuation. It is always governed by that. But fundamentals are clear. Look at the BTC charts. They're majorly undervalued, quite a lot of them. Not all of them, but quite a lot of them are. Sideways Bitcoin will allow them to run, and then even more interest will come into the market, but not just for Bitcoin. Bitcoin can have a breather. It can chill out. It can keep people's monies quite safe and handy. Therefore, less rumbles in the jungle. So we need to talk about other things as well. What will happen if Bitcoin does go stable? Well, in my opinion, as I've alluded to, the Satoshi values of all altcoins will just go a little bit higher, I believe. I think a lot of them are at good demand zones, they're looking pretty good. I'll show you the Ethereum chart in a minute. This will drop. Therefore, you're going to make more Bitcoin anyways. And when we look at the BTC, Ethereum BTC chart, this is a 618 level on the fib, a massive demand zone. I'm waiting for this to pop, to do a potential huge W essentially, which could be quite fun. So it's looking okay overall, but Bitcoin needs to be stable. Every time Bitcoin does something, these charts go down. You know, it's that overriding factor. Looking at the likes of the Ethereum chart, right, on USD, I feel it's megally undervalued and suppressed right now. So it could be very, very interesting to see what happens. But if that move transpires in the BTC chart and Bitcoin is nice and stable and it chills out and it's relaxed, you're probably going to see a $3,000 Ethereum pretty quickly, in my opinion. Overall, though, it's interesting. But what is going to happen to the dollar chart? Now, we're talking about free helicopter money, right? In my opinion, this is a potential top here. Levels of structure is here from this swing to this low, pulled up, and then I think we're going to continue going down. If we look on the higher time frames, it becomes a lot more apparent. This is kind of what I think is going to happen. Print off money, boom, right? I think we're going to melt further. Why? Dilution of the dollar with new fresh dollar, unlimited stimulus checks coming your way. It's going to make it lower in value. So it's going to be worth less. Therefore, the likes of Bitcoin, the likes of gold, all kinds of stuff like that will become more valuable, as I've alluded to in the start of this video. So when we talk about opportunity, this could be maybe, I don't know, a repeat of what happened in 2018. Now, what happened in 2018, if I go along here, we had a really big drop, big drop off, right? This is an obvious drop off, as you can see on here, right? I'll zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see it. I know people twine, but this is a big drop. If that happens again and we go down to this 89, maybe even 85 level, well, the whole crypto market, the whole gold market and everything else is going to go mental, isn't it? So yeah, be careful. Don't FOMO into positions. Remember your risk management. But we know the history. We've already shown since Little Bug came out in a certain country called China, this has happened. Why has it happened? Why is it accelerating? propping up companies. What could happen next? This could go down further and Bitcoin can go much higher. So, overall feelings and opinions. Do your research, educate, link below to a free course. Make sure you check it out. But overall, I want a sideways Bitcoin for an alt season. I'll be honest, I'm selfish in that way. But do I see it happening? Probably not, no. Why? Because I think Bitcoin is going to rule the roost. I think big money and investment is going to come into Bitcoin. It's going to manipulate you. It's going to make you want to dump your Bitcoin essentially on the low days because they think it's not going to go higher again. But let's be honest here. There's a lot of money sitting in cash reserves that are not doing anything right now. The companies are not going to let that waste away essentially, so just be careful. Anyways, I'll see you again very, very soon.